investments. Thank you all so much. I love waking up every morning and just seeing all of my new subscribers on here. I thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. We are shooting for number 400 and we're getting there pretty quickly. So thank you. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Please like this and sign up for any notifications so you can see any new videos coming out. And before we get started, I do want to mention that, if you are interested in stock trading, getting your Tesla stock or any other stocks, I use public.com for my son's future fund. All I invest in there is Tesla for him. When he scores a goal in soccer, I put $5 in for him. When he gets an A on his grades, I put in another $5. If he improves a grade, I put in another $5. If you'd like to get up to $7 worth of stock for free for yourself, go ahead, click that link in the description, get yourself up to $70 worth of free stock, and we'll get the same, and that will go right into my son's future fund, and I thank you for that. So today we're going to watch a little video here from Barra, from CEO from GM, discussing how she feels that GM is going to take all the EV market share from Tesla by 2025. GM does have their, totally losing my thoughts. They've got a car coming out, their Hummer is coming out. Sorry about that, it's early morning. They've got their Hummer coming out early fall. Or this fall coming out. They have another car getting released next year, and a few other lined up to go. And let's see what she has to say. And I'm going to react to this video. I watched a little bit of it, but not all of it. So let's watch it together.
Mary, you mentioned the chip crisis, and you mentioned that it's improving this quarter, but it's going to linger at least through the first half of next year, maybe through the entire of next year. But the narrative that is out there. People look at what happened with Tesla in the third quarter and they say, well, Tesla was able to increase production. Tesla wasn't hit to the same degree as other automakers, including General Motors. I'm not asking you to comment on Tesla, but the narrative is Elon Musk can get it done. GM and the other automakers cannot. When you hear that narrative, what do you think?
Now, before she responds, I am a huge Tesla fan. Reality is the legacy automakers and GM, they're producing 10 times as many vehicles as Tesla is. However, EVs do take 3 times as many chips as ICE vehicles. Granted, a lot of these legacy automakers are trying to get ramped up with their EV vehicles, so they're going to require more chips as well. So in their defense, they have a lot more chips needed. However, Tesla has what they don't have, and that is the intelligence to be able to tweak the chips that they've got and be able to make those work and not be so reliant on other companies to produce it for them. And that is what's going to change them and make them the leader going forward.
Well, I think the complexity of the semiconductors is something that people really don't understand until you dive into it deeply. And, if a specific facility that produces a lot of your semiconductors is hit like we saw in Malaysia with COVID, first we're going to look at the safety of the workforce and making sure they have the right safety protocols in place before they start operations again. And so I think it's a bit more complex than everyone's looking at it. But
I'm not as well versed with GM and where they're coming from, how they run their business. So they're saying that they're getting the majority of their chips out of Malaysia, and they had a COVID hit there. And personally, my feeling is well, everybody is dealing with COVID. So I don't know if that's an excuse or what that is. If any of you are more familiar with GM and how they're running their operations, please comment below. Let me know if this was really the problem or if this is just smoke that we're getting blown up our butts just to, give us an excuse and defend why they're having these issues.
But, we are seeing stronger supply in fourth quarter. We'll see stronger supply in the first quarter. And we're also taking steps longer term to make sure that we aren't impacted by semiconductors or any other of the commodities or material that we need to successfully grow our EV future.
What about inflation? Do you expect it to be as hot in the fourth quarter and into next year as we've seen it in the last quarter?
Well, we definitely are seeing it in commodities and logistics costs, so we think that it is going to linger into next year. I think many factors are going to depend on how long it sticks around. But we also, because of our very limited inventory, we're going to continue to see strong pricing. We saw it in Q3. That's remaining in Q4, and we think that will carry us into next year because the vehicles that we have, I mean, we're selling every vehicle we can make.
So Mary here spins this in a positive manner for them, but a problem I'm running into is she's discussing how, yep, commodity prices are high, so their costs are going up. They don't have much to work with on margins to begin with, and their costs are going up. They're trying to stockpile for the future, which means that they are spending more money on higher priced commodities right now, again, going to bring their margins down and their profitability down. They don't have many vehicles to sell to make up for all the costs that they're incurring because of these higher priced sales on supplies. They're seeing this going all the way through Q2 of next year. So, they're saying that they're keeping the prices high, but the majority of the vehicles that are left behind because of low inventory are vehicles that nobody really wants. So that's why if you drive by a bunch of car lots right now, there's very few vehicles there. And those are the vehicles that people aren't buying. People scooped up a bunch of the vehicles last year with all the relief money that they got. So these vehicles are just going to kind of sit there. I'll be curious to see what their sales look like on their earnings. But to me, it sounds like she's putting a sugar coating on an issue that they're kind of trying to tackle right now, and it's not going to look good for the next 3 quarters for them.
And that continues in terms of the pricing. You've got record transaction prices, but the percentage gains, when does that start to cool off, in your opinion? Because people will look at this and they'll say, oh, come on, now you're looking at average transaction prices that are approaching $50,000 a vehicle.
Well, I think because of GM's specific situation that we're pretty lean on inventories, I think we're going to see strong pricing well into next year. I think as we're able to, have the full portfolio and be able to meet consumer demand, we're going to see some moderation. But we've also done a lot to improve our costs and working with our dealers to do things more efficiently. So a lot of the lessons that we've learned, not only from COVID, but now dealing with the semiconductor, are just going to make us better and more efficient as we go forward.
And now this is another thing that Tesla does not have to deal with. Dealerships. Tesla's vertically integrated. You're buying your Tesla directly from Tesla. All these legacy automakers, like GM, they're selling through dealers. So that's another reason why their margins are so much lower. They have created their own middleman. And they did so because they needed somebody to sell their vehicles for them. It's something that they're going to be chasing forever because that is how they have structured their business. Tesla is not like that, will not be like that. And so because of that, they can save a lot of margins in the middle. So let's see what else she has to say about, I believe they talk about EVs coming up. Let's see what they have to say.
Mary, let's shift to discussion of EVs. You've got the Hummer SUT that you say deliveries will begin this fall. And I think fall, when does that run through? The end of November, early December. So you're going to be having that come out very shortly. And then you've got 30 at least through 2025. You've already accelerated your plans in a number of areas. Can you accelerate them even more?
Well, it's very important, and I couldn't be more excited about the Hummer vehicle that's coming out. At our recent Investor Day, as investors got out of the vehicle, the smile on their face after experiencing watts to freedom was just incredible. So we will be delivering yet this fall. I was at the plant in just a couple weeks ago, and the vehicles look outstanding, so I can't wait to get them into customers' hands. Then we'll be launching the Lyriq, which is early next year. I think as we launch these 2 first products off of the Ultium platform, we're going to look to see how fast can we go. As you know, we've already taken almost half the time out of our vehicle development process because of the Ultium platform and the way it's designed. So, of course, we're going to be looking for ways to accelerate because we see the strong interest in our electric vehicles, but we're always going to put quality first.
Okay, so GM has 2 vehicles slated. They've got the Hummer coming out this fall, and then they have the Lyriq coming out next year. They've cut their times down in half for production. I'm curious as to what their actual production time is, because I can guarantee it's nowhere near the speed of Tesla's time. and she just says half of the time and doesn't really discuss it, because even GM is not going to be able to compare to Tesla with their production speed. I mean, I applaud GM for going the EV route. It's going to help the world with going green, and it's going to help build that EV market and convert the EV market into the automobile market, which of course is then going to help Tesla and help all of these bears finally realize that it's not an EV market versus an auto market. It's all together in one, and so that it's not like anybody's losing EV share, they're actually gaining automotive maker share.
Mary, when we talked with you, a couple of weeks ago at Investor Day, one of the goals that you guys stated emphatically was you will be the market leader in EVs. But right now, Tesla's at 63% market share. By 2025, some believe that you can catch Tesla. You guys are at, 9-10% right now in the U.S. Do you think that you can catch Tesla by 2025?
Absolutely, Phil.
I'm a huge Tesla bull. I don't see legacy automakers surviving this as they are right now, but I applaud her confidence, and I applaud her drive, because the more these legacy automakers drive towards getting EVs out on the market, the better this is going to be for Tesla. I can't see this being any other thing than a win-win situation for Tesla, because if legacy automakers fail and don't push more EVs onto the market, it might not actually be as good for Tesla. So go for it. I would love to see Ford push. I heard the Ford's F-150 is looking to be super hot. It got a 5-star rating. GM, keep pushing. Elon's helping Volkswagen. Elon realizes that the more automakers that are pushing for EVs, the better it's going to be for Tesla. Of course, Tesla has a headwind against the U.S. government, but that's for another video.
When we look at the portfolio we have, not only the Hummer and the Lyriq, but Mark Royce talked about that we're going to have a Equinox-like size product that's going to be at around $30,000. We have the Silverado E coming, a GMC product after that. And again, all the other products that we haven't announced yet, I am very comfortable, because when people get into these vehicles, they are just wowed. So we will be rolling them out, and we're going to just keep working until we have #1 market share in EVs.
Look, again, I'm a Tesla bull, but I'm also a bull of trying to be good for the environment and changing things over to EVs, regardless of how you feel about, how EVs are with pollution and this and that. I don't like loud noises. And so noise pollution from ICE vehicles versus from EVs is big for me. And I applaud Mary's efforts. Mary and again, all the other legacy automakers pushing for the EV revolution is only going to help Tesla's cause. It's only going to help the world. So good for you, GM. Good for you, Mary. I appreciate that. However, I don't think you're going to take Tesla's market share. I can't fathom how you're going to possibly do it when you've got dealerships as middlemen, higher costs on everything, a lot lower margins. You got a great vehicle lineup that you say you've got coming, but you got to prove to me that you can actually do it with the same gusto, quality, with the margins that Tesla's going to have. And, even if your quality is good, what kind of technology are you going to have in this versus a Tesla? And then there's FSD, which yours is kind of crap. So I applaud your efforts. Keep on pushing forward, GM, but I really don't think you're going to be able to take over Tesla. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Again, I love your subscriptions. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Again, if you have not subscribed, please do so down below. I'm really interested to see where the future EV market goes, but if you see all of these automakers really pushing for EVs, they've basically let the leash go of their ICE vehicles. They're switching over to EVs. That is where the world is going, is to EVs. So thank you for watching, and we will see you later.